In layman's terms, what the heck does it mean to be part of the first line of for the NHLPA?
100%. Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. First line means, or to be first line ready, as we say, as an NHLPA member, is to be aware of mental health, how to identify optimal and declining mental health. It's having an awareness of the resources that you have pertaining to mental health in your network. And it's having the confidence to be able to engage your teammates, peers, friends, and family in sometimes difficult conversations pertaining to mental health. It's about being a mental health leader, whether it's in your dressing room, in your home, or in your community. And it's taking an active role in your own mental health.
Do you deal only with retired players?
So we do first line. We're currently offering and doing that for our current players, our NHLPA members. This program was a product coming out of the pandemic and recognizing the need to be more proactive with our players in supporting their mental health and well-being. We did some research with our players to better understand the role the NHLPA could play for them. And one of the things that we did uncover naturally, and as a former player, I certainly could attest to this, was that players talk to players. If a player ever had an issue, one of the first people they usually tell in their circle is a teammate. And what we said collectively as a group, those of us at the PA who are working with these issues and supporting our players this way, is what can we do to enhance these conversations for our players to maximize and ensure they get to the resources they need in a timely way. And that's ultimately how we came to First Line, is recognizing that we had an opportunity to empower our players to have these conversations and to be active participants in their own health and well-being.
How do these relationships start? Do you contact the players, or are they responsible for contacting you?
So in our initial launch and engagement with First Line, we relied very heavily on our personal relationships. As we have some other programming and relationships with the players. I cross players quite a bit within my role at the PA, whether it be around their professional development outside the game, or even just as a peer-to-peer support in their network. So across our fall tour, our leadership with Marty Walsh and Ron Hainsey are very supportive and engaged in this particular part of our athlete's life, and recognize that the Players Association isn't just for labor-related issues, but also for enhancing and supporting and optimizing the lives of our members. We educate all the players on the offering and what it is and what it's designed to do. And sure enough, there is usually within every club a handful of players who are interested in this, whether they have personal experiences, whether themselves or relatives, or they just want to be a more effective teammate and bring more to those around them. They have that natural desire to be leaders on and off the ice. We tend to be able to form those relationships quite organically. That leads to an opportunity to take a group of players, usually a small group of players who are interested in it, through the training program.
So Jay, I'm curious. In the time that you were in Toronto and in Raleigh and in Winnipeg, would there have been a stigma about coming forward and talking about these things? And has that changed from that period of time? Not that you're old, man, but has that changed to what happens now in 2024?
I think there is certainly change, but very much still stigma is still present. Certainly, we're moving in a more progressive direction in understanding stigma and the role it plays. But yes, I would say that there is still a great deal of stigma, not just in sports, but societally. We still have, whether it's self-stigma, labeling ourselves and even, judging ourselves, to the fear and the implications of coming forward. Often people will ask me, well, why are professional athletes so hesitant to come forward with mental health, their mental health issues? And when you sit and think about it, it's actually quite purposeful. The idea of attending to my mental health or identifying the fact that I may be experiencing a challenge represents an opportunity threat, right? I've worked so hard and sacrificed my whole life to get here. I can sacrifice a little bit more, even if it means a little bit of my mental well-being. So there is a lot of fear that this particular aspect of bringing this kind of attention to oneself may bring unnecessary judgment, criticism, or opportunity loss. So that's part of what we're unpacking